Hello students, all of you are again welcome back to your favorite YouTube channel, that is Science Guru Sir Alok. And today I am here with a new chapter from class 7 science, that is chapter 4, heat. So dear children, in this video we will read and learn about the temperature, the hotness of the object, the different types of thermometer, and also the structure of the thermometer and the different types or different modes of transfer of heat. So first of all, we'll discuss about the heat. What is heat? Generally we can say that the hotness of the object, by touching the object, if we feel the hotness, we can say that it is hot. Now, what is the temperature? The reliable measures of the hotness of the object is called as the temperature. So, what is temperature? The reliable measure of the hotness of the object is known as the temperature. So, by the temperature only we can understand the object is either hot or the cold. If the temperature is very high, we can say that the object is hot. And if the temperature is very less, we can say that the object is cool. So the temperature is measured by a device. It is known as the thermometer. As all of you know that the temperature is measured by a device, and the name of the device is known as the thermometer. There are mainly two different types of thermometers are there, and these are the laboratory thermometer and the clinical thermometer. The thermometer which we use to measure the body temperature is known as the clinical thermometer, and on the other hand, the thermometer which is used to measure the temperature of the different chemical reactions takes place in the laboratory. These types of thermometers are known as the laboratory thermometer. There are some similarities and some dissimilarities between the laboratory thermometer and the clinical thermometer. So before that, first of all, we have to understand the structure of the thermometer. Thermometer is generally a glass tube. It is made up of a glass tube, and in the body of the thermometer, the scale is drawn. The measurement of by looking this scale, we can understand the measurement of the different temperature of the different object. And here one important thing we have to remember, that in the thermometer we are using the mercury as the indicator. By looking the reading of the mercury, we can understand the temperature of the object, whether it is hot or cold. Now when we discuss about the laboratory thermometer and the clinical thermometer, we have to remember that the similarities between the clinical thermometer and the laboratory thermometers are, in both the thermometer, mercury is used as an indicator. Along with both the thermometer are made up of a narrow glass tube. Then another one is in both the thermometer, in the body of the thermometer, the scale is drawn. That is, the measurement of the temperature is drawn in the body of the thermometer. So these are the similarities between the laboratory thermometer and the clinical thermometer. On the other hand, if we see the dissimilarities or the differences between the laboratory thermometer and the clinical thermometer, the first difference is, in laboratory thermometer there is no kink. Kink is you can see in the clinical thermometer, the kink is present here. In the iron piece there is a kink is present. Due to this kink, the mercury cannot come to the glass tube. Cannot come to the glass tube. When it is increasing in size due to the temperature, then only by the expansion of the size it can reach to the scale, that is the glass part in the clinical thermometer. So there is a kink present in the clinical thermometer, whereas it is absent in the laboratory thermometer. That is the first difference between the clinical thermometer and the laboratory thermometer. On the one more difference is there in the clinical thermometer, the ranges of the scale, it is starting from 35 degrees Celsius to up to 42 degrees Celsius, whereas in the laboratory thermometer the range of the scale is from -10 degrees Celsius to up to 110 degrees Celsius. So these are the differences between the clinical thermometer and the laboratory thermometer. Here one important thing you have to remember, that the normal temperature of the human body, it is 37 degrees Celsius. The normal temperature of the human body, it is 37 degrees Celsius. So these are the different types of thermometer, the similarities and dissimilarities between the laboratory thermometer and the clinical thermometer. Now we will discuss about the conductors and insulators. Now, what is conductors? The material or the substances through which the heat can easily pass away. Heat can easily pass through it. These types of substances are known as the conductors. Whereas there are some substances through which the heat cannot pass easily. Through which the heat cannot travel easily from one end to the another end. These types of substances are known as the insulators. As for example, plastic, the heat cannot pass through one end to the other end, so this is an insulator. Whereas the rod piece, iron, these are the conductors, good conductors of heat. Now, next we will discuss about the different modes of transfer of heat, how the heat is to transfer from one end to the another end, or from one part to the another part. There are mainly three different types of transfer of heat takes place. These are, the first one is the conduction, then second one is the convection, and the third one is the radiation. Now, what is conduction? During the time of conduction, in this process, the substance or the materials, they remain in the same places. Only the heat used to transfer from one part to the another part. Only the heat travel through the substances from one part to the another part. As for example, if we take a piece of iron, and in one part we used to start to burning, we used to increasing the heat. Slowly on the other part also we can feel this heat, hotness of the object. So these types of transfer of heat is known as the conduction. On the other hand, second one, that is the convection. What is convection? During the time of boiling of water, what happens? We are giving the heat only to the bottom portion of the water, and when we are starting to boil the water remain in that means steady, in the steady position. Slowly when the bottom portion water is getting heat and they became hot, slowly they come upwards, and the upwards cool water, they go downwards. Like this one cycle is going on, so that whole water in the container, all the water in the whole container, they became hot. So that means what? In this case, process of transfer of heat, the substance or the material, they travel from the hotter end to the cooler end, from the hotter end to the cooler end. So these types of transfer of heat is known as the convection. Then the third one is the radiation. What is radiation? There are some transfer of in this process, because before conduction and convection, in this two process, medium is required. Without medium, the heat cannot transfer. Heat cannot travel from one part to the other part. But in case of radiation, what happens? Without any medium, the heat can transfer from one part to the another part. How it's possible? A very common example is there. If we see at the sunlight, between sun and the earth, there are lots of spaces are there that are empty spaces. No any connection is there between the earth and the sun. But then also the heat reaches to the earth from the sun. These types of transfer of heat is known as the radiation. So these are all about the temperature, the different types of thermometer, clinical thermometer and the laboratory thermometer, then transfer of heat, all these things. I hope you understand well, and in my next video I'll discuss about the land bridge and the sea bridge. So keep in touch with me. Thank you for watching this video.